All right, so joining us on Hella Real today, we have Chef Robert Dorsey. Welcome to the show. Well, via Zoom anyways.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yes. I'm glad you came. So you are a Bay Area, I'm going to call you a Bay Area legend now.
That's fitting.
Yes. So you've been working at some of the best restaurants here or there in the Bay Area. Why don't you give us a little background on yourself so our so our viewers can get to know you.
Okay, great. So I started in the Bay Area back in, the mid 80s, just as a kid in high school, and kind of worked my way around the Berkeley culinary scene, starting to replace the Metropole, a little French bistro, did an apprenticeship there for 3.5 years, kind of got my wings, if you will. So just out of high school, I'd become a chef after working with a Frenchman and studying, mastering the art of French cooking with Julia Child.
Okay.
With Culinary Bible.
I remember her TV show.
Yeah, I had friends who were riding bikes and, playing in the street, and I was like in my grandmother's kitchen and trying to see what I could whip up.
So you've been in the game for a while now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, a minute. And from there, I actually hopped into the city in the early 90s and started working my way around the city. Worked Coletto's Union Square, Cafe Pescatori over on the wharf, and Firefly Noe Valley, which was a big deal for me. One of my first gigs as leading a kitchen as a chef de cuisine.
Nice.
So I was really proud of that.
For all y'all living in Noe Valley, if you remember, are they still around or no?
Fireflies are still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we heard that you have done a lot of work in the community in the past. Can you tell us some of those examples?
Yeah, over the years I've worked throughout with the 100 Black Men of the Bay Area in mentoring, kind of health and wellness, some of the initiatives that we, are behind here in the Bay Area. But also back in 2012, around 2012-13, I founded the Junior Chef Society, which was my vision to help engage intercity youth into the culinary arts industry. Kind of saw what was happening in Oakland, uptown, and all the money, all the folks moving from around the world to open places in Oakland. I was like, we've got kids who are right here in West Oakland, Lake area. They grew up here, families grew up here, and they don't have access to these opportunities. Yeah. So we kind of had a garden to table program. And my idea behind that was not necessarily to usher all the kids into the industry, but to give them an outlet, get away from the violence, some of the things that happen on the home front. My way of giving back, my way of kind of letting young people know that they can make it, they can live their dreams. And with the idea that a lot of kids will go off to college or culinary school. We just want to be the conduit, That's
right. Yeah, just like open their mind to something they probably never thought of doing.
Yeah, and who knows, it could lead to, ownership. I was really promoting ownership, bartending, just different aspects just to give them a variety of ways to enter the industry.
So when you say garden to table, did you actually have a garden or?
I actually had a garden. So for a few years, I lived in the gardens at Lake Merritt.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So we had a plot and we grew, tons of vegetables there. A lot of things that we didn't know you can grow in Oakland, like watermelon, fava beans, tomatoes, chard, kale, just about everything.
And then you bring that to whatever you guys were cooking that day, or?
We actually did a couple of demos in the garden. We actually had, really large community gatherings there where we do cooking demos with the youth there. And so that was fun. We got really good turnout there. And, it's just a way to engage the community and let them know, what we were doing and with the hopes that they'd get behind, our initiatives.
Okay, so we heard that at a really young age you worked in your grandmother's garden. How did your grandmother influence your life and your culinary skills?
Oh gosh, that's I'll try to keep that short, but she from the
I mean, it's
South,
the
you know, she
internet.
was
We
from the
got
South,
time, you know.
and she let everyone know it. And she didn't take any mess.
Yeah.
And what did she say? She said, trouble is easy to get into, but hard to get out of.
That's
Right.
true.
Don't take
That's
any
hella
wooden
real.
nickels. Those were her lines. Don't take any wooden nickels. But she was just a hard worker, you know. She had me in the garden at an early age, like pulling weeds and just doing a lot of stuff I did not want to do. You know, using a hoe and breaking soil and just kind of cultivating the land. And it was no more than, 800 square feet. But we grew peppers, corn, green beans, chard, kale, a bunch of tomatoes, pole beans. And she just instilled in me a work ethic like no one else. And she would ring the supper bell at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And you'd come in to dinner like on a Wednesday. There's like neck bones, collard greens. She's made like a pound cake. She's had a full spread middle of the day on a Wednesday. And so I was always peering over her shoulder, just kind of seeing what she was doing. I was like, hey, what's the recipe, Granny? She's stirring. I was like, there's no recipe.
Right.
Learning to cook from the heart, learning to cook with love and just the freshest ingredients. So, when people say farm to table these days, it's kind of become a little cliche.
Right.
But we've been eating field to table since we landed here on this soil. So I'm just proud that I can carry that torch and continue, cooking with soul. I've cooked several different cuisines and learned several different cuisines over my career, but it all comes back to soul. Cooking from your heart, cooking for your people, and enjoying the food.
Yes.
I am hungry now.
Right. I'm like, hey, well, what's this? I'm like, we should have done a cooking one.
Yeah, we got to get the cooking. We got to get the cooking demo in there, and the taste. You got to be able to taste.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so you had mentioned that you were in France for a bit. Can you tell us about that experience? And
that was a bit of a pilgrimage for me.
I bet.
Yeah. Like I said, started in the industry at early age, 14. And by the time I was 17, I realized that for me to live my dream and to live, I needed to get out of my house. So I got emancipated. And at that time, I was trying to go to culinary school in upstate New York and just couldn't figure out the financial aid, couldn't figure out the paperwork, ended up leaving home. And shortly thereafter, I ended up having my son, who's born in 93.
Okay.
And so my whole dreams of New York and France and, cooking over there were stalled, and I became, a young parent. And so
I know
I
what
stayed
that's
here,
like.
kind of worked around the industry and kind of pursued my goals that way. But after I had my first restaurant in 2003, I ended up selling it in 2007. And at that time I said, you know what, I'm going to take some time off and I'm going to make that trip to France. So I did that, took a backpack, stayed 40 days. It's kind of like my 40 days and 40 night trip. But I went all around Western Europe, started in Paris and went down to the Dordogne region, little towns with castles. And so I got to see, the gavage, where they do the foie gras, and eat a bunch of truffles and just enjoy the land. It was kind of a bit of a coming home, for me, having been taught by, Frenchmen early in my career. And so I just felt like this is where I needed to be. So it was a big deal to travel alone and to just experience the world and experience the culinary world that way. Just opened my eyes up,
But you had some good wine too.
Yeah, I actually had the baguette, the cheese, and the bottle of wine in my bag. So I just stop on the street,
Mm-hmm.
I won't say pour a little wine, I think drink a little wine, have a little cheese, have my Swiss Army knife. But, come evening, I would sit down and have, 6-7 course meals. chefs would let me into the kitchen, meet the staff, and just kind of in my, broken French, you really just pay homage and let them know how much I appreciate them and tell them about my journey in the industry.
So you saying you had the restaurant before, so was that the one in Lake Merritt? It was Blackberry Bistro, I think I remember that one.
Yeah, Blackberry Bistro. That was my very first official business. And so it had always been a dream of mine to open a place. And so my former partner and I opened it in 2003, and it was an instant hit, and a lot due to the fact that she had opened a restaurant a few years prior on the same block. But, we did a bunch of like guerrilla marketing, stopping people at the carpool, casual carpool, like, hey, handing out cookies and everything. And soon, just shy of like, kissing the babies, and
you were politicking is what you're saying.
We were stopping people everywhere. And when we opened the doors, which they were just flung open Mother's Day 2003, people just came in droves, and we had,
wow,
lines out the door. And so I was so surprised. I'm a night owl, so I don't know how in the hell I did it, but I was there cooking breakfast at 7 a.m.
The adrenaline.
Maybe it's the adrenaline. I think I've still got some of that adrenaline, but it was something I was really proud of, and had fulfilled a dream to open a place by the time I was 30. So it was huge. And to this day, I kind of still ride a little bit of that wave here in the Bay.
Right, because I remember that spot. It was good.
Yeah. Brought shrimp and grits to the scene back in 2003. So that was a huge thing here in the Bay. And if I ever had a claim to fame in the Bay Area, that is one.
So now you have a catering business, but of course, because of COVID, I'm sure you're not doing a bunch of parties.
No.
Lately. So how have you guys had to adapt to this new normal?
We had to adapt quick.
Yeah.
We did a quick pivot. So just, with my years of experience, I said, I still want to feed people. And so I just started thinking about recipes and things that I like to eat at home and things that I want to share with people. So we started doing like a family style meals to go. So what we're doing now is cold prepared foods that you can eat throughout the week, and starting to put those in like meal kits. So for example, you could have, bolognese sauce, and we throw in some fresh pasta for you, roasted beet salad, curry noodles, all things that are packaged in a way that you can enjoy a little bit tonight, a little bit, a few days later, and a bunch of soups and stews and things like that. And also we're offering farm stand produce boxes, which I'm curating myself, and just putting in, some of the best local variety of produce and fruits and things. So, it's a hustle. It reminds me of my early days of, the different kind of hustle.
Different kind of hustle? Maybe like a street pharmacist, I think.
So we're pulling all-nighters now, but we got a different thing going into the boxes. We've got a whole new business going. And so when things open back up, we're definitely looking to service our catering clients, but to, launch this other brand, which is, it's a little more family friendly, it's a little brighter, if you will. What I do in the catering space, I love, but it's more formalized and, small bites. But we're looking to do something that's just kind of fun, And I've been telling folks the last few weeks, and I haven't figured out how to coin it, but I'm like, I'm going to make some delicious food, and I don't care when you eat it or how you eat it, but just enjoy it. So it's a bit of a smattering of different cultures and things from different cuisines that we just do. We try to execute really well. And that's that.
So your ingredients, you get them at the farmer's market, or it's like, what can we look forward to if we get these meal kits?
So, we source, try to do most of our sourcing locally with an emphasis on, organic, wholesome we're making everything from scratch. So it's not anything that we're buying. So we have chefs in the kitchen who are, making stocks and sauces. And look, for example, this week, I can tell you what's on the menu. We have a summer vegetable lasagna, which is a trio of 3 summer squash, roast eggplant, roast cremini mushrooms, and that's all layered with fresh pasta, a plum tomato sauce, fresh ricotta, mozzarella, and you just pop, we give it to you all layered. You pop it in the oven, 20 minutes or so. You got yourself.
I'm having a fantasy right now in my head.
Right, I'm like that. My mouth
don't
is
mind my
watering.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Actually, funny thing is, people ask me over the years, like, what do you love to cook? And, what's your favorite thing? And I could never really give them an answer. I was like, thinking in my head, like, I love everything. But there's a dish that I have on the menu that I am totally in love with right now. And I've been in love with it for several years, but I've fallen deeper in love with it. And that's our Thai curry coconut noodles.
That's so bomb.
So it's the kind of thing that...
It's volcanic.
It's the kind of thing that I say, if someone else cooked this for me, I would be like, this is like the stuff, I gotta have it. So you gotta try the curry noodles. It's like Chinese egg noodles, toasted garlic, and we make this, it's a vegetarian style coconut curry sauce that has Thai basil, garlic, ginger, soy, and a bunch of coconut milk. And we toss that together with fresh Thai basil, scallions, and sliced portobello mushrooms. And it is jamming.
It smells delicious.
Yeah.
Right, like I'm just picturing this.
You got that Thai basil coming through, those garlic chips. So.
And the coconut.
So do you have like instructions, or like when I get the meal kit, I have to figure it out, or how do I know like what to do?
So I actually go to every client's home when they order and prepare the meals.
Oh, I was like, what?
No. We have a PDF instructions online. I also try and stick one in the bag. So
nice.
I think I get them in every other order or a week. I get them in the bag. Other times I'm racing to find labels and things, but they're always on our website.
So you're saying is you need some interns.
Exactly.
Send your kids, Taylor.
This is my pitch. This is my pitch.
Okay. I can send you some of my kids. I got enough.
You read it quickly, but can you tell us what day is pickup?
That it is Fridays and Saturdays.
Fridays and Saturdays. Okay.
We are just off of Lake Merritt, so easy access, pull up, curbside pickup. The curbside pop-up is what we first hopped out with when we launched this. So now it's not a pop-up; it's like a permanent. We're like a fixture there.
You heard that? Pull up.
Yes, pull up with your mask, with the mask. Okay, I think that's about it for questions, unless we also have like a lightning round of questions if you want to do that with us.
Of course, I'm game.
All right, let me pull them up.
So let me see how stuck I'm gonna be here. Let me see.
You ready?
Here we go.
All right. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
Do you cut sandwiches straight or diagonal?
Both.
Do you dip your fries or cover with ketchup?
Dip.
Because you're not a psychopath. No. Okay. Fold the pizza slice or keep it straight?
Fold.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza or no?
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
You're normal.
Right. Drums or flats?
Flats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, he's not a psychopath. That's what we're learning. Okay.
Right now.
Huh?
I need some wings like right now. Some flats.
Same.
Yeah.
Ketchup stored in the pantry or in the fridge?
Fridge.
Okay. Sugar or salt on grits?
Both.
I said that slow. Both.
Oh, what temperature is perfect for steak?
130 degrees.
And that's medium, what, rare?
It's rare.
Okay.
Oh, that's just rare. Oh,
That's just
bloody.
Yeah, that's mooing.
Centerpiece or centerpiece on brownies?
Centerpiece.
Huh.
For sure.
Soft or crunchy tacos?
Soft.
Corn on the cob or off the cob?
On the cob.
Ice cream in a cup or in a cone?
Cone.
Sugar in your spaghetti sauce or no?
What? What? What?
You don't put sugar in your spaghetti sauce?
No.
He's just like, oh, I'm just kidding.
She's half Filipino, so there's is like.
I know where you're coming from, and actually at some point I think like a tomato soup or a sauce there has been sugar there, but
Okay.
yeah,
He's like,
But not in
spaghetti
sauce.
not like spaghetti sauce, no.
Ah, we gotta try this sugarless spaghetti one day,
Yeah.
Kayla.
Yes.
So last but not least, we always have to ask. We are hella real, and you are hella.
The first thing comes to mind, hella hood.
Okay.
Oh.
He really from Oakland up.
No. I'm hella passionate. I'm passionate.
I think that
about
comes through, even
my
through
people,
video.
passionate about the community, passionate about food, and just the environment. I love deep and just enjoy all of those things.
No, we definitely need to get some of them kits and bring it down.
Yeah.
And for everyone else watching who are interested in purchasing a meal kit, where can they find that?
They can find that at www.chefrobertdorsey.com. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Robert Dorsey Catering on Instagram. Or I'm sorry, it's at Robert Dorsey Catering on Instagram. And our Facebook page is Robert Dorsey Catering and Events.
All right.
All right. Well, definitely all of our viewers go and check them out, especially if you're in Oakland. Go and get some of those kits, and thank you for doing that for the community, because I know having a big family that like those meal kits and those like family style meals that a lot of restaurants have started to do, or people like this that you're doing, it's really, really helpful, especially because it's like it's hard to like come up with something to cook every night of the week, or like but it's still, the way you're doing it, it's still fresh and feels like not just like takeout. It's like something that's still.
That's one of the things that we just really like folks to know, is that it's not a plate of food. It's not a meal just for the night, but it's a meal kit in the sense that you can get some produce, and most of our actually all of our dishes serve 3 to 4 people, if not more. So kind of keeping in mind, lunch for the day, or spreading it out for dinner.
All right, Robert. Well, thank you so much. Cannot wait to try your food.
Yes.
We're looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to Chef Robert Dorsey. Y'all go check him out, especially those of our followers that are in Oakland.
I know I will.
Mm-hmm. He's an Oakland native, Black-owned business, so go on and support.